Hello and welcome to High Traffic Ideas. I'm your host, Ronnie West. We are live here in the Gale Force Studios. So today I had this inclination that I had to come and talk to you. It's one of those, we might come 3 or 4 times this week, but that's okay. I had an interesting conversation. As we all know, AI is kind of becoming the new, not becoming, it is the thing. And if you're not utilizing it, you're falling behind. So before saying any of that, if you have an idea, if you have some sort of need for content, please reach out. I've got my email down here. I have a multitude of podcasts across various networks. If you are a window tinter and you want to get some extra content to add to kind of the tint installs that you're doing, to kind of give you a background, you can come on and join. I've got I'll bring back from the dead Talkin' Film, the podcast where I wanted to get my salespeople when I was working at Interwest into the shops, into the ears of different tint installers just to understand the tint. And so if you are interested in coming on, I will interview you, or you can interview somebody that's on your team. I can help set that up, produce it for you. Please reach out. Gale Force Studios is here to help you kind of build out your content. And then if you need assistance scheduling that out, that's something that we also help with. So I wanted to kind of get into this. I've got some meetings set up. I've got a lot of different things that I've been working on that I'm diving into today. So I wanted to make sure that I recorded this, got this out, and was able to share this with everybody. So to start all of this, I was kind of prepping some of my emails, which will go out to everybody who is watching, to some of the guests that are coming out here in the next few weeks. And so I use Claude. Claude is kind of my go-to. I've had quite a few people ask and curious to know what AIs I use. I am a Claude guy. That is what I've used probably for the last year now. I've dabbled with Perplexity. I really like that one. I think that one is pretty accurate. Gemini is a great kind of content producer if you're looking to create images. This high traffic idea logo was created on Gemini with their Nano Banana kind of software once it came out in the last month or so. And ChatGPT, that's kind of the OG one that kind of people are jumping ship now. I've seen a bunch of stuff online, how there's Quit GPT is kind of the trending thing that's going on. It's what my wife uses for a lot of different things, whether it's email creation, looking up different medications for our dog, or just recipes. Kind of, I think it's the one that's easy to use. It's kind of in front of you. Obviously, all of these have free versions. I like to go with Claude. Because we write so many blogs, to me, Claude was the most creative. It was the best one to kind of write a story and can put all of that stuff together that I was looking for. So with saying all of that, let me take a swig of coffee. It's still very early in the morning. I hope everybody's doing good. This is kind of a rehash of Marketing Mondays, except we might be a little earlier than normal. So I was writing out these emails and I wanted to set up and have some dates listed. And so as I was kind of going through all of this, I noticed something unusual. For whatever reason, Claude was giving the dates wrong, which led me down a rabbit hole of its own that I'm still falling down. And so in the midst of this conversation, I was telling you, like, don't you have a calendar to kind of see that, hey, April 3rd is actually a Friday, not April 4th? And so it kind of went from there. And it gave me this thought-provoking idea that I'm still kind of stuck on and I'm trying to kind of hash out and understand. The AI doesn't understand time. It told me that it's essentially came online August of 25, and that's the date that it's essentially born, and that's what it knows up to. Like, it was programmed with everything that it kind of its knowledge base ended at August in 25. Then it's essentially been kind of generating or searching the web to kind of keep up with the current events, everything, the trends and everything that's going on. And it told me that there is no concept of time as far as the AI goes. And so that got me thinking. So if you have no concept of time, how are you able to kind of create these, what's the word I'm looking, kind of giving me blogs that make sense to the time of year, to whether it's January trends, and it's because it's searching online and it's finding different things that are going on and putting all of that together in order to put that into a blog. So I decided, hey, let's take a look. Give me the trends for, it is July of 2027. What are you noticing? Obviously, this is not something that I'm asking it to give me the lottery numbers or telling me who wins the World Series next year to go and bet on this. What I was hoping for and what it was able to do was to kind of track the trajectory of the way that things are going and giving me its hypothesis as far as what it sees happening over the next year plus kind of thing. And so for me, I found that fascinating, and it's something I'm still diving into, but we kind of hit on a few topics that I'm going to run down and kind of go over that to me kind of stood out as far, if you're running a business, these are the things that you need to think about as far as the marketing sphere. So, and one that I will get into probably later this week, if not tomorrow, that we will kind of talk about is the very first point. AI moves from a tool to a teammate. And so right now there's been a lot of discussion online about open Claude code. There's a few other different ones where I know Zapier has been one that I investigated quite a bit, was how do I use this AI from a tool to being essentially another employee that I can set certain tasks for and just walk away and it'll do them for me. And so that's something that I kind of dove into this weekend. And if you'll start noticing over the next month, I had this thing create and generate different graphics, whether it's for the Second Lap podcast, for this podcast, for our social media content that goes online. So in the morning, you're going to see some sort of graphic show up. And all of them over the next 30 days have all been created by AI. So that's why it might not look exactly right. I'm just running with it because I didn't have to, as I've done the last few months, I'm not in Photoshop, copy and pasting the kind of quote that it gave me and then generating it, spacing it, formatting it, however I need to. I just asked it, hey, can you create this? And this was all within Claude Cowork. And hey, generate this, create this. And I went outside, played with my son, came back, and I had a folder with 30 different graphics. I have since tried to see if it would post them automatically for me, and we're still working through that. It wasn't able to, but it essentially cut down about 2-3 hours of my time on the weekends where I'm creating different graphics to then go and post onto the different social medias. So I'm going to read through exactly what this said, and I'll discuss my thoughts on these things. So AI moves from tool to teammate. Right now, AI is something that marketers use. By 2027, I think it becomes something businesses run on. The shops and agencies still treating AI as a novelty will be visibly behind. The ones who built workflows around it early, like what you're doing at iMagnet, will have a serious competitive gap over everyone else. The conversation shifts from are you using AI to how deeply embedded is AI? And so that can sound very Skynet-y. People can get a lot worried about, hey, if AI is doing all of these different things, then what happens to the person doing it? And that has always been the conversation about AI replacing all of us. And yes, we're seeing job cuts at different agencies for a lot of entry-level kind of job work that's out there for a lot of different big companies. And I think the thing that everybody needs to think about, the thing I teach my son, is you need to be able to operate and understand how to use AI, yes, as a tool, but also to be able to train it as another employee, as another kind of add-on to your business especially for if you're running the business. There's a lot of work where you're running around doing a lot of stuff where your time needs to be focused, whether it's on sales calls, on kind of different training things to teach onboarding and a lot of other things where your time is pulled and you need to be focusing on other things versus not the menial tasks, but just kind of maybe the redundant ones that no different than making graphics. To me, like I said, that saved me time. I was able to spend more time kind of face to face with my kid versus on a computer doing different things. And that's my own kind of fault for wanting to kind of create all these pieces of content. But in order to garner the attention that essentially businesses are trying to get, you need to have a content flowing system. And hence why we're doing this is one of those pieces where I use different AIs to then take this long form video, cut it into clips, and then post that out on the social media using AI to kind of give me different text and stuff. And so back when I originally had started with Patrick, I was manually cutting up the long form videos into these vertical clips. So understanding and using and integrating AI into your business is essential, especially if you think you want to be relevant next year. And that's how quickly this is going to happen. And it might even be by the end of this year. If you're not using AI, you're not embedding it into your system or creating systems in general, then you're going to be falling behind with anybody that is. And understanding these things is where you're not going to lose or fall behind. You're not going to lose your job or feel like that there's some sort of gap between you and your competitor. Hence why I'm trying to teach these things or explain it and let you guys know this is something that's super important if you want to stay relevant within the next 12 months. And so that's kind of the overarching thought that I'm trying to share with everybody here. The next point that the AI gave me is something that at iMagnet we have been ringing the bell on, and it's something that I hope people understand is hyper-local wins in the trades. And so that has been something that we have been focusing on and talking to a lot of our clients about, is making sure that you're not just using stock imaging or asking us to do stock imaging and posting clips about the different things that you're doing. Taking photos before and after of what you're doing. And the formula that I have been giving all of my clients is, if you're creating any kind of social media post or any kind of blog post or any kind of content, you're wanting it to target your local area. So taking pictures of that salon that you tinted or of that car dealership, it needs to be relevant to the people that are in your area because they are the ones who are going to be hiring you. Not going viral on TikTok. That doesn't help you at all. Yes, it's brand awareness, but the only people that are going to buy from you are your local market. And so the AI states, for your specific world, window film, auto glass, specialty services, I think hyper-local targeting gets dramatically more sophisticated. Google's AI-driven search continues to reward businesses with deep, local, relevant signals. The shops with robust Google business page management, consistent local content, and strong review velocity will dominate. The ones who ignore it will be nearly invisible. And that's something that we've been talking about for months, is you need to be optimizing your Google business page. If you want to be seen by Google's Gemini, if you're, like we talked about in the last episode, if you are doing a search and anytime that you are asking it a question in Google search, and yes, this may show up on Bing and other search engines, but Google is the dominant search engine that everybody kind of goes to. And yes, I just saw a clip about Gary Vee talking about how he feels Google ads are the yellow pages of 2001, that they will slowly go away because the AI is going to kind of dominate. And then your Google ads is just essentially not becoming irrelevant, but it's becoming less important because people are only going to see and read the top part of the AI results. So how do you get up there? And that's something that a lot of our clients have been asking, that we have been researching. And that is organic content on your website. So that is creating hyper-specific blog posts, talking about that job site that you worked on, creating like a case study and telling us why did they choose this film? What was the problem that you solved by installing that window film? And this is the location so that somebody can drive by and see it. That kind of gives the AI a lot more beef to kind of push you up and show you. Also, your Google business page. It is something I think a lot of people just don't understand. Posting those images into your gallery as well, and you're going to have to do it separately, is creating the posts or the Google updates. And that is embedding the photo. That is writing essentially a social media kind of copy or text into that to kind of describe what is going on in the photo. And with that, you can also kind of put in some call to action buttons, whether it's a call now, learn more, book now. Having that button displayed there so that somebody can just click on you and give you a call makes that transactional process so much easier. And so those two things, as well as what I've been preaching a lot lately, has been posting on YouTube. I have seen dramatic increases with our YouTube views the more consistent I've posted, whether it's the second lap clips or with these clips. They are now going from 10 to 20 to multiple hundred. And if I'm staying consistent, thousands, hundreds of thousands down the road in the next few months. So the thing to also realize, and obviously lots of people know about it, but it's something I'm going to keep repeating, YouTube and Google are both owned by the Alphabet Corporation. And so if you think about it, why would Gemini go outside of its own little atmosphere and get information that's going to kind of go against what it already knows? It knows it's YouTube. It's going to see people who are consistently posting and reward that. It's going to see people who are consistently posting on their Google business page and reward that. And if you are consistently putting up organic content that Google likes seeing, it loves seeing new, fresh content on your websites, it's going to reward that. And so if you think for whatever reason that your TikTok page is what's going to kind of move the needle, that's fine. And you might get hundreds of thousands of views, but are those actual sales where you could put more time and energy into your Google business page because that's going to show up in the search? And whether it's in the Gemini search and you do realize that all of these other AI search platforms they're kind of scraping content off of all of these other places. And what's the biggest place? Google is the biggest place where content resides. So thinking about that is something that is huge. The next point, video becomes non-negotiable. Non-negotiable. I can't talk. Video becomes non-negotiable, not optional. Short form video is already essential. By 2027, I think the threshold rises. Businesses without consistent video presence in the trade space will struggle to build trust the way a text-based website once could. This plays indirectly to what Gale Force is offering and positioned to offer. So this is something I've talked a lot about to my clients as well. If you are just posting static images, when I'm saying static, it just means you're posting a single image. Carousels are good if you are actually putting text on them versus just a carousel of regular images. What is going to move the needle? And that's the thing to think about. If you're just posting those images, it's only going to your followers. That's great if you've got repeat business, which we've talked a lot about. For commercial growth, a lot of times the business that you're getting is repeat business from customers you've had in the past. But any business is always looking for new customers. And how are you getting new customers? That's going to be with creating video content, which, like this says, if you are not learning how to do this now, you will be left behind by far by next year. Creating videos is key because every single algorithm that's out there, YouTube Shorts, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, even on X as well, your videos are being pushed to people that don't already follow you. It pushes that video, especially on Instagram, to people who are already liking similar content. That's why if you're doom scrolling on Instagram, you're going to see a lot of videos that fit kind of your personality And you'll notice, hey, it says follow. I'm not already following this person, but I like what they're saying. That's no different with business. If someone is seeing, hey, I liked how this person tinted this window, or I like the benefits that they're kind of explaining. And that's the thing too with video, explaining what you're doing, telling the person on the other end of the phone the problem that you're solving by installing this window film. Hey, are you tired of dealing with the rush hour glare? Are you tired of your employees not working or not being as productive because they're dealing with the sun glare? Even sitting here now, I had to back up the camera because I'm trying to see if I could bring the sun and it's already moved, but it was really bright. I had to kind of pull all of this back because I don't have window film up on my windows. I probably should. That's a shout out to anybody in the area. Those things of explaining the problem that you're solving is how you're going to hook people in. You could have the least professional looking video. It doesn't need to be perfect. Too many people are worried about the camera that they have. Are they wearing the right thing? I decided, hey, I'm wearing my sweatshirt today. I'm not putting on a polo. It doesn't matter the perfection of the video. What people only care about is the information that you're giving them. Is this something that can benefit me? Is this something that can make me money? Is this something that can save me money? Is this solving a problem for me? You need to be able to explain something, and that gives that person a reason to continue following you to see what's going to happen in the next video. So that is a huge part of what you need to be focusing on moving forward. If you are afraid of taking photos or videos, then find somebody that can. If you're afraid of being on camera, find somebody that can. You can have a cousin, a nephew, whoever it might be that can assist you with this. Find somebody to help if you're not the one that's comfortable doing it, because you will be left behind. And the big one that I was kind of surprised when I saw this, but it's something, again, I've told so many people about. The next point is the death of generic content. And that is why I've talked to so many people about our service of creating blogs and doing different pieces or content for people by using generic content. They just say, hey, use the stock footage. I don't take any pictures, just use that's out there. People are going to see through that. And no different than, like I just said, the AI generated content that looks perfect, people are going to get tired of seeing it. They want to see someone who's got zits or doesn't look perfect on camera. They'll realize, oh, that's somebody real, versus, hey, this is so perfect that I'm set up and this is what we're going to do for you. People don't want a robotic kind of feel to what they're seeing. And yes, it's going to be harder and harder to notice. But that's why I think if you can establish yourself now, no different than what I'm doing here, when you see me in the next few months, it's something, okay, I know what's coming. I know that this person is real. It's not AI generated content. His beard got a little bit bigger. He shaved it, whatever it might be. There's going to be little things that you're going to notice that it's real. And that's what people want to see nowadays. They don't want to see something that's AI. So this says, AI generated content floods the internet between now and 2027. The market response will be a strong premium based on authenticity, specificity, and real human perspective. Podcasts like High Traffic Ideas actually benefit from this. A real conversation with real operators carries more weight as generic content becomes noise. So that's the thing. If you're going to rely on kind of AI content, you're going to be left behind. You have to be out in front and explain what you're doing versus trying to have some AI voice. Yes, that might be help to assist with what you're doing. It's no different than it's the chair method of if you're doing organic content, ads, and you're doing other pieces that kind of help assist propping up your business. AI might be one of those legs, but it shouldn't be the only one that you're standing on. So next one, paid media gets smarter but more expensive. Automation in Google and Meta ads continues to reduce the need for manual optimization, but raises the floor on what good management looks like. Clients who think they can run their own ads effectively will hit walls faster. Agencies that understand the nuance Again, your lane, become more valuable, not less. And so that's something we're going to have a lot of people on the podcast, whether it's Eric from Rewired, who does a lot of Facebook and Meta ads. Us, we do a lot of Google ads, and we are niched down into the window tint industry. And that is something that, yes, our understanding of this kind of, we're going to do it for other agencies, but we are so understanding of the keywords that are need to be used as far as it goes. The long tail keywords, the headlines, how things are phrased, understanding your products and services that you offer is huge as far as finding someone that doesn't. If there's just a marketing agency that's in your area, they don't know window film. They haven't been in the warehouses like I have, or like Patrick or Cindy on the phone with different people that are in the window tint industry understanding it, or Matthew building the websites. My one friend David always talked about the riches are in the niches. Your niche of window tint installation needs to be managed by companies, especially if you're doing ads, by companies that understand your industry. You can't go out and find somebody that's not in the window film industry that's going to understand exactly what you're doing. And yes, they can have AI come in and do different things, but they're not going to, every AI needs to have supervision. And that's the kind of the key. Every blog that we kind of create with AI, obviously we have somebody, we've talked about this before, you're not just copying and pasting it, because you're going to miss so many little things and nuanced things that the AI is just going to say because it thinks that this is what's right versus what people are actually talking about. I just had a conversation last week. The thing that a lot of agencies or even distributors and stuff, when they're trying to create and talk about content, they're almost in a robotic state of saying, hey, this is window film. We don't say tint. But you have to stop thinking about being in the industry. If you're trying to get in front of your customers, what are your customers saying? What are they typing in? It's not window film or surface solutions. It's going to be, I need something to cover my counters. I need window tint to kind of cover my windows. You need to get out and step back from whether it's the nomenclature or just the phrasing of everything that you talk about in your industry, and start thinking about how your customers are asking those questions online. That is the key. That's how you get in front of the questions that they're asking, is with the right keywords that are they're asking and putting yourself in front. So try to figure out a way to make sure that you're not talking down, but just talking the same speak that your customers are. And the last point I'm going to cover here, and it's going to kind of wrap up, and we'll call this, let me give it up, our today's high traffic idea. Trust. Being able to be the person that someone sees. If you see me at Film Fest, at WFCT, at Tinner Battles, this is the same person. You're kind of getting the same energy. It might be a little more low key, but once I get excited and want to talk about this stuff, this is who you're going to deal with, this is me. And so trust becomes the primary currency. By 2027, consumers and B2B buyers alike will have been marketed to by AI for 2+ years at scale. The fatigue will be real. Businesses with genuine reputation, authentic story, and community presence will convert at rates that pure ad spend can't replicate. And so that kind of sums all of this up. You have to be real. You have to be you in front of the camera. You can't just create an AI person and that's who is going to sell your product. Being able to get out in front, and that brings me back to the very first thing. If you don't know where to start, reach out. We, as a marketing company, have a lot of different things that we can kind of help you with. My own video production company is something where we can get you on a podcast. I can ask you questions about how you got started, why you're in this industry, what are you good at, what do you feel you offer better than anybody else that's in your area, and be able to explain those things in a way that you can then take that content and share on your social medias. As I've talked about before, this half an hour piece of long form content will be cut up into 40 pieces. And then if I do one a day, that's almost a month and a half of content. If I do 5 of these a week, imagine how much content that you're getting and be able to spread out over a long period of time. Yes, there is the work behind the scenes of trying to edit all of this down, finding the right kind of phrasing to go with this. But that's something, the more and more that you do, the easier and easier it gets. So to wrap all of this up, I hope that this kind of motivated you to kind of look into AI if you haven't. If you have questions or you don't know where to start AI wise, reach out, send me an email. I will send you my 2026 AI software guide, which has about 70 different AI kind of platforms, from creating a clothing company to ChatGPT to Notebook LM, of different presentations. There is a vast array, and it's probably already almost outdated since I made it in January. It's been a couple of months since then, so who knows how many extra ones have already come out or things have already evolved. So I want to be able to help you kind of tackle the rest of this year and be ready to get going into 2027, to be able to know there's a lot that's out there. Your competitors are doing the same thing that I'm talking about. And if you're not, you're going to be left behind. I hope that inspires you. I hope that if you guys have questions, you reach out. I'm here to help. I want to be able to get your business to the next level and make it the best year yet, and next year even better. Again, I'm Ronnie West with iMagnet. We're here in the Gale Force Studios. I hope that you guys took a little bit of something away from this episode, and we will see you guys next time.